You know, people like to think the internet forgets, but it doesn't. It remembers pretty much everything you've ever given it. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a hard look at the digital footprints we all leave behind.
So let's just jump right in with a question. How easy is it, really, to piece together a detailed profile on someone using only information that's already out there for the public to see? Well, the answer? It's probably going to surprise you.
And we are going to find out in the safest, most ethical way I can think of. See, instead of investigating somebody else, which, by the way, is a line you should never cross, we're going to turn that spyglass right on me. We'll see what the internet knows, and then, and this is the important part, I'll show you exactly how to lock it all down.
Okay, so what we're about to do, it actually has a name. It's called open source intelligence, or OSINT for short. And really, it's less about super secret hacking and way more about just being a good digital detective, using clues that are left right out in plain sight. At its core, OSINT is just, well, it's the practice of gathering info from places that literally anyone can access. We're talking about websites, social media profiles, public records, news articles, you name it. It's a totally legal and, honestly, a really powerful tool that folks like journalists and researchers use all the time to connect the dots. Now, before we go one step further, we have to be crystal clear about the #1 rule of this whole game, ethics. We are only looking at data that is publicly available. We are never trying to probe or break into private systems. And for what we're doing here today, we are only investigating our own accounts. This is all about self-discovery and protection, not, digital snooping. All right, enough theory. Let's see this thing in action. I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock and just run a super quick investigation on myself. Let's see what pops up. First things first, the most obvious tool in the shed, a simple Google search. So I'm starting by searching my full name inside quotation marks. That gives me an exact match. Okay, and now I'll do the same thing for my email address. This is just our baseline, right? This shows what any curious person would find with just a couple of keystrokes. Okay, next up, I'm checking for data breaches. For this, I'm using a really trusted site called Have I Been Pawned? It's simple. You just pop in your email and it tells you if your password has ever been exposed in a known data breach. And trust me, this step is so important because a single leaked password from some old forgotten account can be the key to your entire digital kingdom. And now for the one that catches almost everybody off guard, the photo. We post them all the time, right? But what most people don't realize is that they can carry this hidden payload of information that we absolutely never intended to share. This slide right here, this is why we're doing this. It translates all that hidden techie data into real-world risk. See, every digital photo has this stuff called EXIF metadata baked into it. So when your photo's data says date/time created, what an attacker hears is, aha, I know when you were there. The camera model, that tells them the exact device you use. But the most dangerous one of all, the GPS coordinates. That doesn't just tell them the city you were in, it can tell them exactly where you were standing when you snapped that picture. It's kind of scary stuff.
I know, seeing all that laid out can feel a little unsettling, but don't worry. The point of this isn't to scare you, it's to empower you. So let's shift gears and talk about solutions. Here are 3 incredibly simple fixes you can do, like tonight.
Here it is, your checklist. First, enable multi-factor authentication, you'll see it as MFA, on your most important accounts. Think email, banking, that kind of thing. It is, hands down, the single best defense against someone taking over your account. Second, strip that location data from your photos before you post them. Now, yeah, some social media platforms do this for you, but you can't always count on it. The safest bet is to just remove it yourself before it even leaves your phone. And third, do a little spring cleaning. Go back and change the privacy settings on some old social media posts from public to friends only. So here's the bottom line. All those tiny, seemingly harmless details, they can join together kind of like Lego bricks to build a surprisingly detailed picture of you. But the good news is, the reverse is also true. Tightening up just a few simple things can make you dramatically safer online. Okay, so let's turn all this information into action. I want to leave you with a direct, super simple challenge to go from just, watching this, to actively taking control of your own data. Here it is, your challenge for tonight. Just 3 small tasks. That's it. First, go enable MFA on one important account. Just one. Second, before you post your next photo, check it for that location data and get rid of it. And finally, find one old social media post you made that's public and just switch its audience to private. That's all. Because at the end of the day, OSINT is just a mirror. It shows you what the rest of the world can see. The real question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge?